Hi, I'm Amy and welcome to my channel where you can learn how to rewire your mind and become the most secure version of yourself. This is video number 4 in a 5-part series discussing attachment styles so that you can try and establish which attachment style you are, so you've got a clearer picture of what your core wounds are, what your behaviour patterns and emotional patterns are, so that you can begin healing those and move the needle towards secure. In today's video, I'm going to discuss dismissive avoidant attachment style, and it is going to be a really high level. So I just want to get the information out there so that you have a better idea of which attachment style you are. I have done videos on anxious, preoccupied and fearful avoidant, which are available for you to see. So let's dive into dismissive avoidance. So how is the dismissive avoidant attachment style adopted? It is usually from emotional neglect or neglect in general in childhood. And the common characteristics of a dismissive avoidant are that they're logical, rational, distant, grounded, practical, slow to warm up in relationships, and they are guarded and often disconnected from their emotions. Now, I want you to remember that the disconnection from the emotion is a trauma response. It isn't that this person doesn't feel, they do feel, but they will avoid it, and it is a coping strategy. So what core wounds are present in dismissive avoidance? So dismissive avoidant core wounds and core beliefs are that I am defective, I am unsafe, I will be trapped, I am incapable of change, I am or I will be weak, I'm not good enough, I am helpless or incapable, and I will be powerless. Okay, so you can see from these core wounds why a dismissive avoidant might struggle getting into relationships and maintaining them. So what emotional pain patterns and behaviour patterns come with being a dismissive avoidant? So the number one that I've noticed is shame. Shame is a real trigger and pain point for dismissive avoidance. And it is the driving force for a lot of the behaviour, as is low-level anxiety, irritation, impatience, frustration, annoyed, drained and overwhelmed. So if you or somebody you know quite frequently feels these feelings as a pattern when you're triggered or when you deactivate, then you may fall into the dismissive avoidant attachment style. So what are the needs of a dismissive avoidant? So the number one need of dismissive avoidance is autonomy, independence and freedom. And anything that threatens that causes the dismissive avoidant to deactivate and push the other party away or avoid the situation altogether. They need appreciation and acknowledgement, understanding, acceptance and support, harmony, peace and time to decompress. Okay, so this becomes problematic if you have a dismissive avoidant and an AP in the same relationship, and you've got the dismissive avoidant needing space and you've got the AP needing proximity. I'm not saying that these relationships can't work, because they do. With healing, you can come to quite a harmonious place in your relationship. Dismissive avoidance also needs certainty, stability and safety. So the dismissive avoidance relationship to boundaries tends to be a lot different than the other attachment styles, because they set more extreme boundaries compared to other attachment styles. They set boundaries by actions more so than words. At times they're afraid to discuss boundaries to avoid conflict, and they're not great at setting smaller boundaries. And they won't typically communicate these boundaries consistently. They may feel trapped if boundaries are overstepped. And the relationship expectations of DAs are that my partner should always be understanding when I need space. Conflict should not occur in relationships. Being in a relationship shouldn't mean compromising. My partner and I should meet our own needs, and my partner should be a perfect match. My partner shouldn't soothe through me, and my level of independence shouldn't change. So these are the typical relationship expectations with a dismissive avoidant. So if you notice yourself thinking these things, and also one that I didn't put down actually, one that I noticed quite a lot is the dismissive avoidance will often fault find, because you know, they will look for perfection in a relationship, but really it's just a subconscious strategy to get out of the relationship and back into a subconscious comfort zone. So what behavioural coping mechanisms do DAs have? So DAs will often withdraw to decompress. They stonewall, they can ignore and become dismissive, they can become passive aggressive, and they will engage in numbing behaviours as well. So they may drink, they may overeat, they may binge watch as a way of numbing because they don't want to feel the feelings, and just generally an excess of creature comforts. So if you or someone you know fits into these, they could well be a dismissive avoidant attachment style, which again can be healed just like any other attachment style, but at least now you know what the core wounds are and you've got a bit of a head start in knowing what to heal and knowing where you're starting now and where you want to be. My next video, I'm going to go through secure attachment, which ultimately is where we all want to aim for. So if you like these videos, please like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video.